Did you guys know that Taurus is one of the most angriest and volatile signs in the zodiac? Well, that's because Taurus has the fixed star Algol. Algol is the energy of taking one's head off. So, if you thought that you was going to sleep on Taurus, if you poke that bull, do you know that your head will come flying off? Do you know that the bull sees red immediately? The bull has been trying to be nice. The bull has been trying to be chill. No, she don't impulsively come out and kill you like Aries or Scorpio does. Well, Scorpio will plan it out. But no, the bull suppresses her anger. She represses her anger, continues to be nice to you, and you just keep taking advantage. And then what happens? Mars goes into Taurus, and all motherfucking hell breaks loose. So if you're watching this video, you might say, well, what does Mars and Taurus have to do with me? I'm not a Taurus. Well, if you don't know, you have Taurus somewhere in your birth chart. And whenever a planet is going to go through Taurus, somewhere in your birth chart, you're going to activate your Taurus energy. Yeah, he fucking with this dirty ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this dirty ass wop. Give him everything I got with this dirty ass wop. Okay, so Mars is moving in Taurus, and for every single zodiac sign out there, major upheaval is going to be occurring. Why? Because Mars is going to be meeting with Uranus, the planet of upheaval, change, sudden and unpredictable shocking news. And Mars will also be meeting up with Lilith, the dark shadow of the moon. So this Mars and Taurus transit is like no other because we haven't had this energy, these two entities in Taurus while Mars was transiting Taurus. So we are going to experience extreme change. Where Taurus is in your chart is where you're stable, you're reliable. And how people approach and operate towards Taurus, they use this energy to stabilize, to create foundations, to fix things, to complete things, to bring things to closure, because Taurus allows for you to see things through to the end. It's fixed in nature. But what happens when the planet Uranus, right, which changes everything, comes into Taurus? Everything that you knew to be reliable, to be there for you, to have your back, to be practical, to be stable, shakes up. It destabilizes. Now Mars is going to come into Taurus and conjunct this energy. And Mars is aggressive. So when Mars meets up with Uranus and Taurus, what do you think that energy is about? What does that reflection symbolize to you? I'd love for you to say it down in the comments. Just immediately think about the idea of everything that you knew that was stable changes, and then Mars comes in and aggressively makes it so. So yeah, this energy is very unpredictable, and at the same time, it's extremely aggressive. But like I said, Taurus is not like Aries. It's not impulsive. It's not strategizing. Most of the time, it was just sitting there chill. But when this energy comes up, right? When Mars hits Lilith, everything that has been building up, brewing, is going to be like rumbling before the volcano erupts. So I want you guys to be able to harness this energy for your most use, because globally everything is going to shift. Everything that you relied on is going to shift, is going to change. Okay, somewhere in your life that is also going to happen. And what if you are the director of it rather than the passenger of it? This is the power of astrology, so we're going to use that power right now in this video. We're going to go through all of the planets. So if you have planets in Taurus, stay tuned. And then we'll go through the house systems. So if you know your rising sign, then we'll also go through the house system and look at how Mars in Taurus will be impacting you. So let's get into it. Okay, so first catch these dates. Mars will be in Taurus starting January the 7th, 2021, all the way until March the 4th, 2021. Okay, now Mars will conjunct Uranus, that unpredictable energy, around the 19th of January. Okay, so this is building up that week to look forward to the impact of Mars and Taurus globally and personally. And then finally, at the end of January, around the 28th, 29th, 30th, Mars will be in conjunction with Lilith. Okay. Now, I have actually a lot of information about Lilith and Uranus being in Taurus already and what we've experienced and seen so far and what's to come. If you'd like to know more about that, check the link that I have available for you. So now that you have the dates, let's move into the personal planets. Okay, if you have the sun in Taurus, then Mars is going to conjunct your sun energy, opening you up into the world, expressing yourself, expressing that personality, that persona that you've been crafting and wanting people to see and know about you. What is it that you want people to know about you? That becomes very active at this time. Your activity is going to focus even more and more as Mars gets closer to your sun. So you want to know what degree your sun is and then what time that degree of Mars is going to hit your sun to know the exact dates. Um, and if you don't know that, you can hit me up and I'll help you with that. So the Mars is going to conjunct your sun, making you more expressive, making you more creative. You definitely will go more for career pursuits as well because you're really trying to express your authority. But it's where you shine. It's going to be about expressing how you shine. What are your talents and your greatest attributes? When your Mars conjuncts the moon, it's going to be about finding your comfort. This is going to be about finding that space, that place, or that thing that you own that brings you comfort, that brings you stability, and the need to hold on to that, the need to know where it is or what it is, or for some, it might be who it is. The moon is about emotional fulfillment. So this could also be about really finding like a flow, right? A flow of your emotions into something that would be fulfilling for you. So whatever that is, it's focused on like the house that this is happening for you in, okay, wherever your moon is. Also know the degrees so that you can find out when Mars hits the exact degree of your moon sign. If you need help, I can help you with that. So the biggest thing about Mars and the moon is about discovering something that could bring a lot more fulfillment for you and really actively looking for that. So you might be eliminating and killing off anything that makes you bored or makes you feel frustrated. Frustration will be a big thing for you emotionally, and waterworks is more possible here. Working more with water is more recommended here. You know, find that time where you can really be sensitive, where you can get more connected to your vulnerability. It's also a time when you can get closer to your mother or a maternal figure, or just connect more to your inner feminine. You know, no matter which gender you are, you have a feminine aspect of you that needs caring for. And this is a lot about caring, taking care of self, taking care of emotions. And the moon is actually very comfortable here. So the Mars energy might stir up the moon to make it be like, I'm being too complacent at certain things. There's certain things that frustrate me and I keep overlooking them, and really being able to attack those things, whatever they might be. So that is the moon energy when Mars conjuncts the moon. May I have your attention? I have an important message for you. When Mars is going to conjunct your Mercury, Mars is going to assert itself, to want to speak up about its values and its morals and the things that it really truly believes and honors as golden, a priority in life, a way of being in life that keeps you in the space where you feel righteous, right? Where you feel like you're right. This could be something that also changes up, especially with the Uranus energy that might hit here. You'll also be looking at the darker sides of why is it that you say the things that you say. You might be thinking more about what you say, how you say things, crafting more of an ability to be effective in how you communicate. You're going to have to consider the fact that you might be too much talking about yourself. You might be very centered on self when you speak with others. It's a time to look at how your communication is failing, how it's not getting through, how it makes you very frustrated, and what it is that you need to do to learn how to listen more, to learn how to speak with beauty, right? With honor and consideration for others, being more integrating of others' ideas, values, and morals in conversations, in speeches, in writing texts, writing online, writing blogs, writing songs, right? There's a time where we're looking at your hands as well. Mars might aggressively make you move more with your hands, do more work with your hands. So you might apprentice something where you're learning some new stuff that uses your hands. Okay, so you want to know when Mars is going to hit the degree of your Mercury. You're gonna have to know in your birth chart what degree your Mercury is, and then see where Mars will hit that to know the exact time when it becomes the most prominent for you specifically. Okay, and if you need help with that, I will show you how to do that. So that is Mars, when Mars will conjunct, if you have Mercury in Taurus. Okay, if Mars is going to conjunct your Venus, this means that you have Venus in Taurus. This means that you are really going to be asserting your beauty, asserting your morals around your beauty, your fashion. This might be a time where you're changing up your closet, where you're wanting to be more on top of how you make a statement about who you are. It gets very political here. It gets very, it can get very aggressive politically here as well. This is also going to be concerning your relationships. It's very much tied to how is it that you attract your partner? What are the things that are not working with attracting a partner or your current partner? It's going to be something about looking at if you have partnership, if you don't have partnership, excuse me. Well, why is that? You might be aggressively trying to make that happen. It's a time where you're looking at balance in life, and Mars is going to really eat up the parts that you indulge the most. So you're going to see where it is that you're going too far, where you're indulging in things too far. You can be more argumentative about values and morals, and this could bring out more combative situations in one-to-one conversations. Okay, so you want to know where your Venus is. You want to know what degree your Venus is so that you can find where Mars will hit it, meaning what day it will hit it, right? So if you need help with that, I can help you with that. And that is if Mars goes with your Venus. So Mars and Mars, right? If Mars is going to conjunct your Mars in Taurus, then this is a time where you are really working on your vitality. You'll be looking at what are the things that are making you lethargic. This could be really connected to something blood related, like an imbalance of vitamins, minerals. It could be a thing of, maybe even connected to blood diseases. Mars is going to come in here and really attack certain things to help you, help the blood, help the health of that uh, be healthier, right? Be more vital. And overall, you may be more willing to exercise, to take care of yourself. You can be a lot more combative than normal. You can have a lot more confrontations than normal. So these are the tendencies, and you have now the knowing that that's the weather, that's how that weather is going to be like, that you will, you know, be more conscious of it and make better choices, knowing what the tendency could be. Okay. Using that Mars energy to aggressively go after your self-care, to aggressively go after your beauty, to look at the foods that you eat, how you overindulge, how you don't, also how you're spending your money. These are the things that are going to be a great way to channel that Mars energy and assertion of really just really attacking those parts of you, rather than attacking other people. So you need to know where your Mars degree is so that you can know when Mars is passing through Taurus, when exactly Mars will hit your Mars degree. Okay. And if you need help with that, I can help you with that. And that is Mars, if Mars is going to conjunct your Mars in Taurus. If you have Jupiter in Taurus, Mars is going to be coming to your Jupiter during this transit, really making you more active about I think this has a lot to do with overeating, because I think that things get very abundant with food in this placement. So I think that you might be looking at food specifically here. But Jupiter is also perspective, right? It's also about wisdom. So what is your wisdom about yourself? What are the things that you know to be true, right? You might be very preachy at this time. You might be a lot more like just trying to tell people your ideas, similar to Mercury, right? Really just going out there and spreading a message. Uh, I think that this could work very well for you. If you're looking to publish something at this time, this could be something that works well for you. And you get to work more your swag and your character when it comes to the whole concept of a presentation. It's kind of about a representation of where you come from. I think that that's also very prominent here with Mars coming to your Jupiter. So you get a chance to be a lifestyle, to represent a lifestyle, represent a culture, that the culture of your morals and values. Now, if you have Saturn in Taurus and Mars is going to come in conjunction with this placement during this transit, it's important for you to know that this is widely connected to money. It's about investments or saved money. And if that is an issue, especially when we get to the Lilith energy, which we're going to talk about in the next segment, that this is about also like being more connected to responsibility and paying people back or people paying you back. So it could be one of those two situations that you might be dealing with at this time. You're going to have to look at your connections and morals and values to money and what it really means to you, what it represents to you, how it stands for you. You might be on the more pride, I'm going to fight for myself trip, right? Um, Especially when it comes to Taurus, because Taurus is all about this topic. But it's also about looking at where you are needing to take more responsibility or needing to have a different change or perspective about certain things. You could immediately find that if you're not able to navigate this energy, that you find yourself in the complete opposite situation that you're in. Okay. And that goes for specifically people who are wealthy, right? It could be very much so that we're dealing with greed, we're dealing with things like that, where they may find themselves shockingly in the most opposite position that where they're in. So this is where you want to really navigate that. But it could also be great for other people. So for people who have worked really hard, who saved their money, people who um, have honored and been loyal to their values and their commitments could discover that they are the most valued at this time. And from a position of maybe poor or not wealthy, you become your complete opposite, which is the most abundant. I think with Uranus energy here, it's going to also be really tied to, because that's Saturn and Uranus. Saturn controls Uranus more, giving more weight to it. The energy is very potent if you have Saturn and Taurus. The energy and the themes have been about money already. So you're coming with this now even more aggressive assertion once Mars gets here, right? So you're really going to have to mind the fact that you might be fighting somebody. Like this could be on the like, bitch better have my money. So you want to just be mindful of that. Be mindful that this energy is very focused on that. And things can go in your favor or they can go completely wrong or spiral out of control um, if you're not careful. So we got to look at all the things that are connected to the things we own. And how important is it that we have certain things? How important it is that we don't have certain things? Um, Developing a relationship of delayed gratification and developing a relationship of being more disciplined, of withholding, of not jumping in so quickly to get to the center of the lollipop, right? Like not trying to get so to it right away, but enjoying the process, enjoying the effort and the work for it, and really probably making more pride towards that because that will honor that Saturn energy that is like You know, as much as things are going to change up, if you want to change it up, I'm going to change it up karmically, right? So the karma becomes very strong here. So you're going to have to know where your Saturn is, and then the degree of where that Saturn is, and then as Mars comes to your degree, you'll know the date of when that will be the most heaviest. Those themes will be the most heaviest. Okay, so that is if Mars is going to conjunct your Saturn in Taurus. If you have Chiron in Taurus, this is a really difficult placement. Chiron in Taurus is really insecure about its possessions and the things that it owns, and um, it has a relationship to the things that it owns, in which maybe it didn't get enough when it was younger. You know, this is the story of Chiron in Taurus. So when Mars comes here, this becomes even more focused. Okay, so themes about uh, getting gifts or getting hand-me-downs or getting, things from childhood has a big impact right now. It comes up more at this time, giving you more of a chance to evaluate the way you have a relationship or have a broken relationship in a lot of ways to the things that you own. There's like a deep need to either disown those things, disconnect from those things, give those things away. And there may be a lack of cherishing, a lack of appreciation that sometimes comes here. Um, so this is something that can be very shadowy, especially because Lilith is also transiting here, Uranus is also transiting here. So all of this really comes to light about how you relate to the things that you own. In a lot of ways, you're going to be able to heal others. You'll be showing others why it's so important to cherish things. That will be an important um, image that you have the opportunity to portray, helping others to see the value in their relationships, value in the things that they own, releasing hoarding, releasing, overspending, or other themes that can happen here. So Mars really attacks these things, making these things more important, more active on your day to day, making more efforts to make money, to save money, to clean up the things that you own, cherish the things that you own, make priority, organize them, put them together, helping you to heal that relationship to those things. And the more that you're able to do that, the more that people will be watching, people will be seeing you, being influenced by that very message. So it's a very powerful experience that you're going through. And on my channel, I like to say that Chiron is your superpowers unlocked. So Chiron and Taurus, you guys have a great opportunity here to really ignite this energy, and actually put you in quite a position of great abundance if you're willing to take the mission. Okay, if you have the North Node in Taurus, Mars will be conjuncting your North Node. This is a really important time. The North Node is where you're moving in this life towards your destiny, towards an opening path that you came here to experience. And Mars is going to ignite that in your birth chart during this transit. Now, Mars near the North Node has a lot to do with your ability to assert yourself. And this is connected to basically having a past life where you're not necessarily good at doing that. And especially in the sign of Taurus, the ability to confront people is sometimes very difficult. You might actually experience this adrenaline rush during this transit, um, that maybe you have had a glimpse of before, but it becomes more apparent because Mars pushes that adrenaline to like get you like more like hyped about something so that you take action, that you take an attack towards someone. So I'm not necessarily that you need to go out and start attacking everyone, but it is about learning how to confront people, to not be so passive, to allow yourself to be vocal, but also just be present, be physically present at whatever is coming towards you that may seem like it is an attack, or seem like you are needing to stand up for yourself. Mars conjunct the North Node is a lot about learning how to stand up for yourself. And the house that you find that you have Taurus in, with your North Node in Taurus, is going to inflect the area in which you are really here to learn how to stand up for yourself. So maybe you're really good at it in other areas of life, but this area, this house placement specifically, where your Taurus is, your North Node Taurus is where you might just be way too passive. And it's time for you to do that. Now, with Taurus, we want things to be more beautiful, more friendly, more peaceful. So you're also learning how to have a calm assertiveness, right? It's not necessarily about being violent or volatile. However, if one is unconscious, if one is keeps repressing their feelings, they may just become extremely volatile, because especially if you have North Node around the later degrees of Taurus, like 25 to 27, you may have more of the ability to be volatile when pushed, because this is the area where the energy is more aggressive in Taurus. So you want to watch out for that. But what happens, honestly. Anything that happens is basically trying to show you that very thing, that it's time for you to stand up for yourself, because in the past life, where the South Node is opposing Mars, right? Because that means Mars is going to oppose your natal South Node. You may have been more of a doormat or a martyr or whatever. So whenever you have something near the North Node, it's saying, well, this is something this is a planet energy that you have not exerted, that you have not exhausted, that you have not experienced. So Mars is a big on that. Now, the other thing is that Mars is the planet of sexuality, right? So Mars transit conjuncting your North Node is also going to spike up your sexual prowess, your sexual appetite, right? Because probably in a past life, you also have not done that. Maybe you lived a more secluded, isolated, monkish type of lifestyle, right? Or maybe you were just very, very strict in your perspective, or maybe you were just sexually repressed in the past life, right? Or had some sort of trauma that kept you from enjoying that. So when you have Mars near your North Node, it also opens you up sexually. And so you will find that you are lusting after things, you're wanting things, people, experiences, sexual experiences, fun, adventurous, risky types of experiences as well, because it's actually something that you've never experienced for. And Mars going against your North Node is saying, all right, now's the time to ignite this. I want you to ignite this here. Remember that the house that your North Node in Taurus in is also going to be a big significator of where you're going to be triggered. Okay, so definitely look to the house where your North Node in Taurus will be. All right. Okay, so if you have Lilith in Taurus, then Mars will be coming here, and this is a really important transit for your sensuality, your relationship to yourself, your relationship to the things that you own as well. Looking at the shadow sides too, all of the things that have developed you to um, kind of be insecure about some aspect of your body, some aspect of your beauty, some aspect of your money. Just everything's coming together at this point in seeing the back side, the darker side of things. And why is it that you operate the way that you do? Why is it that you let go of the things that you let go of? Why is it that you hold on to the things that you hold on to? Really looking at the reasonings behind it all, really unlocking to you deep traumas, deep pain that you may have gone through that actually are really what is navigating your actions. And you're going to have to be able to uh, use this for the better of making yourself more healthier, making yourself more physically stronger, making yourself more, your beauty stronger, making your beauty stronger. Beauty comes from the health, but it also comes in the things that you wear, the makeup that you wear, the way that you dress your hair. These will be themes that you'll be really focused on with this energy. And of course, we're also talking about Lilith, so it's the darker side of your sexual nature. There's a deep, deep feed that she needs. It's almost vampiric. in really needing to suck up everything that she needs to understand about the parts of her that she has denied or repressed or, outcasted, because Lilith and Taurus is the outcast of your sensual nature, the outcast of your beauty, the outcast of your value. And so with Lilith and Taurus, these things come up and you become a very exotic plant. I think that you're discovering um, who you really are in the kingdom of the jungle, really understanding who you are as far as um, integrating your shadow sides and pulling it together with your day-to-day persona that masks these shadow sides, this day-to-day persona that has repressed these shadow sides. It's almost like you're in battle for the cell, in battle for the atom. I know these words are getting crazy, but it's the fight of Lilith and Eve when we're looking at Mars coming here. And there are two sides of you that are fighting for authority, that are fighting for their place. And I think it's about you learning how to integrate, because it is a phase. So everything that you're going through is very, very new. And then as you move forward, it's about incorporating this energy, but it not taking completely over, but finding a way to incorporate it, to never repress this part of you again. Um, and so this energy wants to manifest into something. It wants to have a place, a name, an item that it is related to. Some of you guys, it might be items that will remind you of this phase that you're going through. Some of you guys, it might be a persona or a name, or a project, or a painting, or a TV show that you love, or a food, definitely a food that you love to eat, or food that you let go of during this time. There's going to be something that will help to keep you in connection to this repressed side, putting it in a place where it can be seen, honored, remembered, and integrated moving forward. So, yes, your sexual nature is on extreme high and very, very hungry at this time. And so you'll really have to manage it, channel it into something that could change the whole path towards what you really came here to experience and feel. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to go through the rising signs, but it's so important to look at your chart, look at your birth chart, go into astro.com and plug in your info, right? Plug in your birth info and find out where you have Taurus in your chart, okay? I have a link below if you'd like to learn more about astrology. If you're not sure how to even do that, just look at the link below on how to look up your birth chart, okay? So that will be the most accurate. But if you do know your rising sign, then you can listen to your rising sign. And we're about to do that right now. So how Mars is going to be transiting through a Taurus and how that will impact your rising sign. Here we go. Okay, so now we're going to go through the rising signs, but it's so important to look at your chart, look at your birth chart, go into astro.com and plug in your info, right? Plug in your birth info and find out where you have Taurus in your chart, okay? I have a link below if you'd like to learn more about astrology. If you're not sure how to even do that, just look at the link below on how to look up your birth chart, okay? So that will be the most accurate. But if you do know your rising sign, then you can listen to your rising sign. And we're about to do that right now. So how Mars is going to be transiting through a Taurus and how that will impact your rising sign. Here we go. Okay, so now we're looking at Aries Rising. Now, if you have Aries Rising, more than likely you're having Mars transit your second house. So this is the area that has to do with your income. And you will be a lot more assertive. You're going to gain more assertiveness in wanting to actively figure out how to make more money. You may be blessed with a shocking delivery of great reward, great money, or you may have that money fall through because it's very unpredictable energy. But something here is expected to win over with Mars, and Mars wants to win over getting that dough, getting that bread. So you guys will be really about that life right now, and it's going to teach you a lot. It's going to be something that you're able to hold on to and keep on to about this energy, because you're going to come face to face with a darker side of your nature when it comes to your money. Okay, so Uranus is the shocking part that we've covered, but the other part is going to be Lilith. And so going through Lilith, you're also going to face, wow, what are my relationships to the things that I own, and how money is so important to me, and why it's so important to me, and why is it that I feel like I need to be so this certain way about it. And I think that you might even indulge a little bit about being more of that way, or about just unlocking the deepest parts of your indulgences. Maybe not even necessarily looking at the reasons why you have them, but going into them as well. That becomes very, very strong of a tendency. So if you want that, then great. But if you want to control that, then you're going to have to really channel it into something that can be more productive, maybe being more physically active, or giving to others, like giving money to other people, being more charitable, being more knowledgeable, maybe gaining more information. But whatever you're doing at this time, it's very money centered, it's very possessive, it's very value orientated, and there's just so much change that's happening for you. And I think it's actually extremely exciting for you, making you be able to channel your energy in an assertive way that you're not usually normally able to. It's almost like there has been a crack in the system, and now you have this like secret little way to get in. And it's kind of scary, but it's also extremely exciting, because now you have a manifested thing that you can indulge in and go deeper into. So this could bring you a lot of knowledge and wealth, a lot of knowledge of self-worth, a lot of knowledge of self-value, but it could also be very greedy and gluttonous as well. So you just want to watch out for everything, be mindful of everything, and now that you have the weather, you can navigate how you want to operate through this transit, which we are about to embark on. Enjoy, Aries Rising. Okay, if you have a Taurus Rising, this is all about you, and Mars is moving through your first house, which is really going to make you a lot more athletic, more physical, more wanting to be out and about, meeting people, sharing yourself, presenting yourself, looking the part, crafting the part. You might be very experimental right now, allowing yourself to try different things that you haven't before, crazy hair colors, crazy quirky outfits, tapping into cultures that you never have before, tapping into brands that you never had before, allowing yourself to explore, allowing yourself to have fun, allowing yourself to also expose a shadow side of your nature. Okay, giving you more of a chance to integrate that. Let people see the parts that you typically hide away. Let people indulge in the parts that you typically withdraw from in them. And this is all about that persona, that personality, those first impressions, that moment you walk through the door, that moment you come online, that moment you, share yourself for the first time in the day with the world, is going to be your energy that is just so focused right now, so wanting to thrive, and very greedy for attention. So watch out for that. And really wanting to make the presence be known. So Mars is going to actively be pushing you through this. So you want to watch out, to not be too much all at once, but you also want to use this energy to explore and discover the parts of you that you have never allowed yourself to really be free and out there. Okay, this could be an extreme focus on your body, an extreme focus on your beauty, an extreme focus on your fashion sense, an extreme focus on money. You could be a symbol, some sort of money. You could be some sort of leader of money right now. So this energy is very, very potent for you, and it's all about you. Okay, Mars is everything is focused on you. A lot of people will be active towards you. You may experience some more combative natures as well, because Mars is very assertive. People coming towards you, and you as well towards them. All right, so enjoy this energy. Allow you to take opportunity at this time to use this March energy to get something done that you typically maybe not always would have the will, maybe not always would have the stamina to get done. Okay, Gemini Rising. If you have a Gemini rising, the Mars is more than likely going through your 12th house. So this is going to be the energy of being very active in a place that no one else sees. Okay, you might feel very isolated and alone from others. Either you are physically going to be that way, or it just might be, when you're around others, you need distance. Okay, and you might need to vocalize that in an important way so that people can understand it, take it, receive it, and start to respect it. Otherwise, you'll be a martyr for people, and it's a very opportune time for you to dance with the angels, for you to go into the subconscious realm, for you to do the healing work that you need to do, for you to explore the depths of your own subconscious, the things that you don't see about yourself, the things that you wish you understood about yourself, the things that you are not understanding about, where you're, extremely insecure about, where the things that, hurt you and you don't understand why. You're just in this depth, this, dark night of the soul kind of a journey right now, and starting to look behind the scenes of who you are, as a being, as a person. And Mars is just actively putting you there, not really having a lot of space for anything outside of you, because the energy is going to be so potent with inside of you. You'll be tapped into networks that are hidden. You'll be tapped into groups and circles of types of people that aren't as well known, aren't as very popular, but are very behind the scenes, are very knowledgeable, are very accessible to a lot of different things. Okay, so that is Mars going through Taurus for Gemini rising. Okay, for Cancer rising, Mars is going to be going through Taurus, and this is going to be in an area for you that has to do with your friendships and your networks and your groups of people. Okay, remember that this energy is tied with Uranus and with Lilith. Okay, so you're going to be meeting some very quirky people, and you're going to be around more groups and in more party situations. This is going to allow you to be a lot more vulnerable to more people than you might be comfortable with, but it also gives you a lot of opportunity to really have fun and indulge in different personalities that are kind of wanting to come out of you too. So you'll be able to be like a chameleon in a lot of ways, because where you typically would have boundaries or walls up with certain people, you're now having the opportunity to mesh with them, to, um, you know, electrify with them, to connect with them in a quirky way, in an obscure way. Um, this could also create a lot of sexual situations. So because Lilith is here, the energy could be a lot more darker. Could be a lot of things like sex parties, orgy types of situations, or at least fantasies involved in those types of situations, or offers of those types of situations. The energy is very detached sexually, but it's also seeking to be accepted within the network. So it wants to attach to the network, and that's kind of how it does it, through the sexual means. You also might just be more sensual and open about your beauty and your sensuality on the biggest network known, which is the internet. You might be more open on the internet about a darker side of your nature. You might be more open to darker types of friendships, darker types of groups, organizations, or thoughts, or ideas, or visions than you have before. Okay, so that is Mars going through Taurus for Cancer rising. Okay, so we are looking at Leo Rising. Leo Rising, okay? Leos, you guys are going to have Taurus actually in an area that has to do with your career, your public reputation, and how people see you, like remember you, your legacy. So this is a time where things are going to change up. Something has really changed within you about how you want to control this, how you really want to be seen. And you have the opportunity to control it by making a stand, by making a presence, by being known in a place that you maybe have not been known. It's an undiscovered type of energy to be all of a sudden discovered in some sort of area of life, in some sort of industry, in some sort of role, right, of authority, to now show yourself. So reveal yourself. So a lot of things will have to come up here. And some of the things that you might be dealing with is actively being more in connection with the roles that are played in this area, which could be like your employees, right? And for some of you, it might be your children. And really being able to connect with them in a way that they want to connect with you back. This also has to do with dealing with the shadow sides, looking at the patterns that have come before in the way that you assert yourself as an authority, in the way that people respect you as one. And a lot of changes is happening to that. So being able to see it as a clean slate for you to create, which you do very well, a new version of yourself rather than trying to recreate an older version of yourself. Okay. And that is Mars going through Taurus for Leo rising. Okay, for my Virgo risings out there, Mars is going to moving through Taurus, and this works very well for you because it trines your energy. If you have any planets in Virgo, this will trine those planets as well, giving you more of an opportunity to be more productive in the things that you truly value. But you may have been lost about what those things really are, or stuck in what you thought those things were for a very long time. And you've put a lot of effort into one area of this placement, which has to do with how you publish yourself and how you put yourself out there, how you put your teachings, your brand, your ideas into one thing and then spread it into massive distribution. So if you're a book writer, this is big for that. If you're any type of in any sort of industry that allows you to publish yourself, this is a time where a lot of that is changing. You might come out with a new project that is very left hand, like coming left, a big difference, very against the grain, very different than what people have known you before. You might have different teachings, views, perspectives that you weren't sharing about yourself before that are now coming more to light. You're also going to have to look at the shadow side of your knowledge, the shadow side of how how you explore things. There's something here that's very sensual about that. There could be a lot of role players, of gurus or teachers that you're getting very close with. This energy is very, very big on what you know and how that becomes a seductive quality. Sometimes what you know is something that you have outcasted others for. You may not have always seen that what others know is good enough. You might be getting that back now, or vice versa, but there's something around that topic. And it's a time where you're going to have the tendency to be more about what you know, be more preachy. There's a way in which you can gain people to follow you that is exciting, adventurous, without them having to sign all the way up or be all the way loyal. And I think that that's something that could be freeing for you, is that people don't have to be all the way loyal to what you're saying, that it's really just yours. It's your idea, it's your perspective, and you can own that versus trying to control it in others. It's really tied to a way of being religious that you've never experienced before, having faith in a way that you've never experienced before. There's a lot of opportunity for you to be free here. You're definitely about to put something out, I feel, that is going to be seen. And I also feel that people will be disturbed, shocked, enlightened in a very versatile way. Okay, I'll see you guys, Virgo Rising. If you have Libra Rising, you have Mars, the planet of sexuality, going through Taurus, the energy of sensuality, with Uranus, the mad genius, um, with with Lilith, the dark succubus, seductress, in your 8th house of sex. Okay, Libras, I already know. So, I just want to say that if you thought that you was already going through some crazy, weird, quirky unveiling of your sexuality, just wait until Mars gets into Taurus, because you're about to have your mind blown, okay? I want you guys to understand that you're not crazy, and that you are having a transit that is connected to your deep psychology. So anything that goes here is can stays in the 8th house, basically. What happens in the 8th house can stay in the 8th house, except for the fact that now Uranus wants everyone to know. It wants to electrify it. It wants it to be more public. It wants it to be more out in the open. It wants it to be manifested in some sort of digitalized way, which evokes a deep reawakening, a rebirth, a deep transformation that you are undergoing and are about to reveal. And I think that it's going to be very powerful. I feel that this is big on discovering power by securing all of the hidden parts that weren't secure before. Taurus in the 8th house is deeply connected to self trust, deeply connected to self investigation. And I think that you're having a reawakening, and there's something about you that becomes so powerfully confident that the potential for it to be is going to be incredible. But first, you have to go through the jungle. First, you have to go through your darkest shadows. You are going to experience all kinds of trembling and um, shifts and changes in your body due to the psychological uploads and changes that you're going through. Um, so I think that if you feel like you're purging, you feel like something is coming to an end, that could be very, very much so the case for you at this time, with Mars aggressively making it even more impactful. But just know that whatever comes to an end has an incredible rebirth, an incredible um, rise that just required a metamorphosis. A metamorphosis is exactly what Mars wants you to have, and Mars is pushing for you to have. So if that was a part of your vision with Uranus, then your vision is going to get a spike of shocking change. Um, so hold on, because this is really internal more than it is external. If it becomes external, it means that you have done everything that you're supposed to, and now you're fulfilling the cycle of death and rebirth. Okay, and that is Mars and Taurus for Libra Rising. My dearest Scorpio risings, wow, what a powerful time that you are in. And Mars is going to be going through your 7th house, which is going to be a time that really tests your mettle. It tests your sword. So you're going to have a lot of changes that are disrupting your committed relationships. And you're going to have to slice through the garbage and be able to get down to the core of it all. You'll be unlocking and discovering the shadow sides of your partners. You'll be seeing sides to your partners that you didn't notice before. You'll also be seeing the sides of you that are reflected, that are being mirrored back that you didn't notice before, which will help you to tell you where the themes might tend to go, which will be around the idea of, do you want to be committed or not? um, there's going to be a need for freedom in your relationships, which if it does not give, you may just leave. Um, I think that it's important for you to be honest with yourself, to be honest with your partners. I think that you'll be requiring that from your partners. I think that some of you will be extremely happy to know that um, the relationship that you have is karmic and fulfilling. And I think that others of you will see it the same way, but it may not be together. But karmic and fulfilling is exactly how I would describe this transit that you're going through. You're going to be actively pursuing the relationship, which means that if you're not in one, you'll be actively pursuing to be in one. If you are in one, then you'll be actively pursuing to unlock a gateway in your partner that helps you to um, manifest a progressive type of union, one that hasn't really been seen or acknowledged or really honored or seen as a good thing, So you might deal with the world and how the world sees your partnership if you guys stay together. There's something about how your arrangement will be that will be a little against the grain. And you might have to stand up towards maybe even how people view you guys and how you explain yourselves and how you explain what you are and what type you are. Um, because if you're to stay together, it's going to be very different than what you have ever seen before and what the world has ever seen before. So that is Mars in Taurus for Scorpio Rising. Okay, so for Mars and Taurus for Sagittarius Rising, this is going to be in an area that has to do with your work environment. And so a lot has been going here about the shadow sides to uh, your coworkers and your work environment. You might have been seeing, just certain ways that people move and operate that make you look twice, and I think that you've been pretty chill here, not really wanting disturbance to disturb the environment or anything like that, but all of a sudden with Mars, you might just be like, you know what, there's just one thing that's really just been nagging on me, or there's just one thing that I really just can't get over about the situation. And what it really is a sign that you are desiring some sort of freedom to your current work situation or lifestyle or daily schedule. You're desiring a freedom from this that you need to have, and Mars is going to ignite that for you, giving you maybe an open door, an opportunity to leave, to change, to shift, to be promoted, um, to go on a hiatus. But something wants to change, needs to change, has to change. Because this can be a house of suffering. This could be an area of true suffering because it's what you do every day. And, there just comes a point where what you do every day needs to matter. It needs to have, it needs to have more a direction, more of a future. And you need to see a future with your lifestyle that could say, I'm really proud of where I'm going, the direction I'm going. You need to have that spiritual growth in this area of life. And so I think that you'll stop at nothing to discover that, to discover where you want to be, who you want to be around, who you want to be working with, and who you don't want to be. So that is Mars and Taurus for Sagittarius rising. Okay, for my Capricorn rising, Mars in Taurus is going to work well with your energy, giving you more of harmonious energy, more opportunity, more possibility. And this could be very good energy for you, but you will have to deal, just like with everyone, a lot of shocking change that needs to occur. And Mars is going to actively be pursuing that change. Okay, for you, this is an area that has to do with romance and dating, and how romantic are you? I feel like you have been stuck in one wave, stuck in a rut, just really not getting to that place where you can have a breakthrough, and it's time to have one. Um, I think that you've been feeling this. I think that you know that it's true. I think that when it comes to your relationship to your children, it's the same way. There's something there that's kind of stuck in the rut that's still not really giving in the way that would make you feel joyously connected to them or to childhood or to having children. And this energy may give you a chance for some of you to have a child. This energy may give you a chance to reconnect with children. Um, which also is deeply related to dating in a lot of ways because it's about being playful, it's about being flirty, it's about being on the surface, not going so deep, not always being so serious. Um, some of you could be finding that you're dating around a lot. That could be a big part of the energy. You could be dealing with like how loyal you are to certain people and where you're not really wanting to be anymore. People that should have been short-term relationships are long-term and vice versa. And I think that you're really seeking to have freedom that could make you actually be like a loving person again, a person, a being of love. You want that space where you could be something that people indulge in, that people want to be around, that people want to date, that people want to flirt with. I think that you're looking, that if you're not looking, you need it. You definitely need it if you're not looking. So you're gonna be coming across some like quirky types of characters like in the dating scenes and also some more seductive succubus types of characters that are luring you in, igniting your stimulus stimulation, making you more aware of the fact that there's still much more life to live, there's still much more things to enjoy. um, this can be a highly indulgent placement. This could also be a highly gambling type of energy, so you also want to watch out for that, and you're just going to have to hold on to um, letting go, because everything that you valued about what you think it means to be a type of person that is fun, that is joyful, that is romantic, all of that is really just crumbling down and opening you up to a new realm, a new way of being. Okay, and breaking a big cycle for you that keeps you maybe a little bit, stuck. Okay, so that is Mars and Taurus for Capricorn rising. Mars and Taurus for Aquarius rising. Okay, you guys, this is a crazy transit because it's your modern ruling planet in an interesting place that is having to do with the home life, shelter, and what makes you comfortable, what makes you feel like you are safe. And one of the biggest things is to have a Uranus planet in this area, because everything that you thought was safe probably doesn't feel that way anymore. And you're really trying to even decide what it is that you love, what it is that you love to be around, what kind of um, aesthetic do you like to have in your home. You might really be changing um, where you live for sure. It might be a time where you um, want to be in a kind of home that really is the type of place that represents where you are, but also where you're going, or what type of home you want to create for the next generation. And I think you're really thinking outside of yourself, even though it's this private space. It's like it's beyond just what your needs are, but what makes everyone around you comfortable, those that are going to come after you. I think you're even thinking about, you know, you know, what the home of your children's children could be like, and how you can impact that, how you could make a change right now to make that so. Even though it's such a private place, it's something way bigger than you. I think that you're starting to see even more how every aspect of life is just so much bigger than you have allowed it to be. And even though you're an energy of getting freedom, you still have been really locked down in this area, and you haven't really seen how to unlock it. There's certain role players that might make it so, quirky family members. Um, it could be more seductive types of family members. You want to watch out for that because there could be some hidden energy there. So the whole thing here for you is that Mars is really just going to actively go towards what needs to make me feel comfortable about this. What energy do I want to put into the future? when it comes to what a family does, what a family environment is, how the parents relate to the children. How do we, make the table, the dinner table? How do we set the bed at night? It's also connected to heritage and what do we pass on to our families. So it's very deep. It's very, very emotional. And I think that you may be having some major emotional upheavals as well, where you aren't typically very emotional. You might be the one sign that is expected to not be, but becomes the one sign that is. So Mars and Taurus for Aquarius rising. Okay, and lastly, Mars and Taurus for Pisces rising. Okay, so this for you is happening in an area that has to do with your environment, and your entire environment is about to be electrified. Okay, with Uranus here, it already has been, and it now gets even more exciting as Mars comes here. There's a lot of aggressive, assertive energy that is all around you, and you're really learning how to navigate this, and it's pulling out of you the ability and the need that you have that you don't do, which is communicate. So where you've been stuck in a rut and how you comprehend things around you, you've been stuck in a rut about how you communicate about the things that you want to get done around you, the person that you want to be to the people that are around you, which is like your neighbors and your extended family members, and like, those people that are just like, they are satelliting around you. They're in and out, on a weekly basis. And you're having more of a chance to change this. And I think that if you've been feeling stuck, this is because you haven't really allowed this energy to be free. Um, you've always been in an environment that is the same type of environment for a long time. Um, and that is just really changing for you. It's very possible that you could move neighborhoods, and it's very possible that you just might be in and out of different types of neighborhoods, very bizarre, quirky neighborhoods. You can start to bump into bizarre and quirky types of neighbors. You can start to bump into some seductive types of neighbors. But the energy of sexual sensuality is deeply around you. People could be connecting, sexually around you, just, making connections to lovers around you. Lilith here is also very possessive, so you might be very possessive of everyone that's around you, seeing them as almost like an extension of you. But the energy is very communicative, allowing that part of you to finally be free, to finally have a voice, to finally have a space that, or like an avenue, or a platform that you can really call your own, that makes you stand out, that makes people um, know who you are, because you are finally like speaking and on your own terms. Mars wants to aggressively make you go for this and unlock this in you. And so this transit, Mars is going to pull it out of you if you haven't been able to pull it out of yourself already. So that is Mars and Taurus for Pisces rising. Peace, y'all.